Welcome to Another Day Above Ground, a show for, by, and about baby boomers. It's the podcast for people who have no idea how to download a podcast. And now, here's your host, Dale Irvin.
Hey, baby boomer buddies, welcome back to the show that's all about you, the baby boomer. It's another day above ground, which we should all be pleased with. And this is our special Father's Day show. That's right. It's a time to salute our dads, and if we are dads, for somebody to salute us with a good present for a change. Anyhow, here to join me on our special program are my partners, as usual, here every week from the Rocky Mountain state of Colorado. Welcome, Carolyn Strauss.
Hey, and it is saltwater taffy season. So if you have fillings, stay away. But if you don't, it is the season for saltwater taffy. It makes me think of my dad.
Well, exactly. What is salt? They actually use salt water to make it, like right out of the ocean? Because that's where you always get it, on the beach and stuff.
Yeah, it's made by fish, actually. And they export it to the stores. And, and it's for when you get out of school.
Okay. I never knew that. Also joining us from Indiana, the Aristotle of comedy, Mr. Tim Slagle.
Just announced today, Jeff Bezos will be aboard the first Space One flight. Kind of interesting. He's going to be doing it because the shipping is free.
And he'll be there in 2 days or less.
And actually, he wasn't going to be the first passenger, but his stockholders advised him against putting his ex-wife aboard.
And did you hear that his brother's going with him? So I want to make sure that their estates are pretty much set up. Their children should definitely check in on that.
And you can go with them too. There are 7 more seats on this thing. I believe it's up for bid. I believe the top bid is somewhere around $2.5 million right now.
Oh, wow.
And it's only like an 11-hour flight.
To answer the saltwater taffy question, I think what they used to do is they had those big taffy pulling machines that they start the taffy on, and they just fold it over and over and over. And I think when you go to the beach, the idea is, because it's being done in the salt air, that it imparts a certain flavor to the taffy that you can't get anywhere else but the beach.
Ah. Nice.
It doesn't, but that's I think that's why they did it.
It reminds me of the old joke where the guy was giving the announcements at the end of the church service, and after the service, the minister came up and he said, "How did I do?" He said, "Really good, except for one thing. He got a little confused. It's going to be a taffy pull at St. Peter's. So next time."
I love the Mass at St. Taffy's.
Well, Father's Day. Father's Day is always, a fun time at my house. My dad he had this tradition where every Father's Day he would buy everybody a present, because he said without us he wouldn't be a father. And it was a delightful thing, and he did that his entire life. But I remember him, and he'd always wrap them the same in big paper bags stapled at the top and marked on the side with crayons. And then one year, instead of marking them on the side, because he worked at a cemetery at that point, he saved all the ribbons off of the bouquets. So you would, instead of getting your name written on there, you'd have a ribbon that says "Beloved Son." Dearest Grandma.
Wow, I bet your mom loved Mother's Day, all the flowers she could take.
Please. Yeah, that was the other deal, was flowers, because when I was working there in the summer, every time I went, "Oh, here's some flowers for you, and here's some flowers for your mom."
Aww.
No, I didn't pull them off the grave. It's when they throw them all on top of the grave, and they just rot there at the end of the service.
Okay.
So, I didn't take them from the individual vases.
Yeah, Mom didn't get a lot of gold jewelry, but she got a lot of teeth.
The necklaces were my arts and crafts were spectacular.
Well, the thing think, do you guys have any special memories? Anything special that reminds you of your dad?
Yeah, the smell of leather, but that's a whole other story.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
I'm sure she was talking about English leather, the aftershave.
No.
Oh, yeah.
No.
You don't even want the out, huh?
It's a horse riding story.
All right. I have to clarify. You guys know that my dad ran the oldest operating leather tannery in the United States, and I grew up in a leather tannery. I grew up, playing on the horses and, trying to climb into the drums where they spin the hides and stuff. No, I actually grew up in leather. You guys are that should answer anything you need to know about me. The questions you guys have had about me over all these years we've been working together, that answers it.
Wow. It's amazing the concept of suede diapers never caught on anywhere.
That's actually how leather starts out. It starts out as suede diapers and then it moves on.
See, my dad was a milkman, but I the smell of milk doesn't really take me anywhere. I don't know. We thought that dads are always a source of wisdom and a source of advice. And if you can't be with your dad right now or again, where do you turn for advice? Certainly not the three of us. So what we decided to do is to hire an advice expert for the show. The man is the world's #1 advisor. Now, I don't mean financial advisor. I mean, he just will give you advice on whatever you want. And joining us from, I'm not really sure where, someplace in the South, I believe. Please welcome Mr. Buddy Fender.
Well, here I am. Let's find the time. Damn, that green room's gotten hot. Hey, everybody.
Hello, Mr.
Wow,
Fender.
Kind of a video effect that pretty much looked like somebody had a piece of black cloth in front of the camera until you're done with your shaggy dog stories. Anyway, I'm here. Let me give you my first piece of advice. Are you ready?
Please. Yes, sir.
I was listening in the brown room about the saltwater taffy, and Tim, you're a smart guy. I know it. You told me. But actually, Carolyn was right. The saltwater taffy is made of fish. It is, and it's one of my favorite snacks right here. This is a Swedish fish. If you can see that, that's actually, and if you look inside, it's saltwater taffy. And this one here, you can tell it's Swedish because it says right there, Laurels Engelbretsen, right there. I think he's a Nordic, but it tastes like saltwater and it's a little hard on my teeth. But that is it. They call them Swedish fish. They love to be eaten. That's it for that one. They love a jacuzzi, or as they call it, the sauna. So you were correct, sir. Go get the square.
How much THC is in each one of those?
How much what?
THC.
I didn't look at the spelling at all. There are 2 H's on the end.
Okay, that's all that counts.
Anyway, I'm so excited to be back here on this program with y'all, and let me just say, all these things are not necessarily your opinions or the opinions of your network. You're just asking me. I'm trying to give the best advice I can for Father's Day and all the rest of people that might not be a father, but you might be a real mother.
So are you no longer the love doctor, buddy?
Well, I like to keep a hand into that too, but I'm not a really expert in that area. I just happen to, I excel in some of my activities, and when life hands you lemons, then you usually whip them at cars and hide in the bushes. So what I do is I just say, if you got a question, I try to help you as I would help any friend. So you're my friend, so I'm going to help you out with a little bit of advice. So, send them to me. I'm just finishing my lunch here. So it's going to be a little bit noisy. I had this. This is what I use for my roughage. It's a pork skin.
Yeah, that's very good.
Pork rinds. These are good. They smell like tree frog.
What are pork rinds made out of, buddy? I've never had a pork rind.
These are called pork rinds. They're actually made of the rind or the hide of the pork substance or any kind of four-legged snoutmeister. They're called chicharrones in Spanish, and they put lightly salted on them, but not the same salt that they use on the water taffy, which is from Sweden. This is American salt, sometimes from the Himalayas, called pink Himalayan salt, but they don't put them in these because they're too expensive, and these are too really bad for you. Most of these are sold by doctors who own this and people who work on arteries and other things as such.
I thought they were potato chips.
I mean, I don't think much about it.
They look like potato chips to me. I grew up in the North. I grew up in the Northeast. We never ate pork rinds.
You ain't never seen anything like this that has not fallen out the bottom of a radiator.
They're actually keto. They're actually.
I'm sorry. This one is made out of. It looks like made out of a platypus beak.
It's actually keto-friendly chips. If you're
ketos or adults, we enjoy them here in the South.
Yeah, that was the Green Lantern's driver, I think, was keto, and he was always on a good diet.
That guy was sneaky, though. I remember he was sneaky. He had that hat, and he would go like this. I was having moving like this.
I thought that was the Lone Ranger's friend.
No, that's Tonto.
Oh.
And he wasn't. And he didn't go pronto to Toronto. He didn't even have a dual citizenship. That is one of those folklores or people lores, as we're supposed to call it, or now, as they like to say, being lores.
Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, here's a question for you, buddy. What would be a good...
Well, I have bugles now. That's my second bugle.
Yeah, well, it's good to have a multi-course lunch. What would be your advice on a good gift to give Dad? Because as far as I'm concerned, Father's Day is the redheaded stepchild of holidays. And Mom's Day, she gets cards and flowers and taken out to brunch. And Dad gets, maybe a tie or a pair of socks, and he's got to cook dinner for the entire family. So how is that fair?
Wait, you just said Dad has to cook dinner for the entire family on Father's Day?
Oh, yes.
And Mom has to do it the other 364 days a year, and you're complaining?
Yes.
My advice there, Dale, would have been to say nothing.
That's why you're the expert, buddy.
Good advice. So, anyhow, what would be a good dad present?
Well, what I always figure somebody's gonna get me one. Now, I'm not actually a dad unless I sit down with a paper and pencil and actually verify a few things. But if it was for me gift, I would say, can you please give me one of these Monty Blank pens? You never seen them Monty Blank pens?
Yeah.
Well, you get one of those. Any man's gonna love those because the resale value on those is so high, and yet the shipping is so low. Well, you could get the Monty Blank pen, and then you put it on eBay or CBay, D-Bay. You can put it on CBay, which is the Canadian version, I think, and you could sell that, get yourself back $230, or if you got the one with the gold band Monty Blank, that's $300, and then you buy whatever you want, like maybe golf club or a harrow for your plow. I don't know, something you like.
That's great advice. So ask for a pen and then resell it and use it as opposed to just asking for cash.
Yeah, it's like your own secret weapon. That's why they say they are mightier than the sword. As far as I know.
Excuse me, I was stifling a sneeze.
You're going to be okay there.
Yeah, I was stifling a sneeze. I'm fine now. Well,
it didn't come out. Maybe you won't want to put your pants on backwards.
All right. So, buddy, my dad's best advice he gave me, one of them was, if it moves and it shouldn't, duct tape it. And if it doesn't move and it should, WD-40 it.
He's a smart man. And I only can add to that one more, and this goes for food. If it still bends, it's still good.
food and women, right?
I don't know much about that because I work so much. I don't have a lot of time with that. And but I'll tell you what, I got one of these, This is what I call my lady. I call it my here she is bar. I'm gonna eat one of these for dessert, but I'm gonna try to wait. But you eat one of these. So I say this. He was a really smart man. Duct tape, also JB Weld. Also, if you can use plastic dip, it's not only really, it's you get this at Lowe's or at Home Depot, but it's also, if you don't like somebody, you could put like their Monte Blanc pen in some plastic dip, and they will throw it in the garbage themselves. So there's no actual traceable crime.
Gosh, that's good to know. And when you said that if it doesn't move, oil it. That's not always true. You don't want to spray WD-40 on your wife because it upsets her and it dirties the sheets.
Yeah, but as long as it has the number 40 attached to it, she's gonna say, "Oh, you are so sweet." If you call me, let me tell you, do not say WD-67 or anything like that, because you might as well take your jack links and move out. Now, WD-40 is good. Also, WD-40 is also good for cleaning off things like stickers. Like if they have a price tag, let's say on something real expensive, like maybe a Monte Blanc pen, and it says $149, and you can get the little purse size or pocket size or lapel size WD-40. You put that on, and that slicker will slide right off. You bring your own sticker that says $23, and you get a deal on Monte Blanc pens. Now that, I understand, is not actually legal and not necessarily what you folks would say on this program. I picked it up from a Pioneer Girls magazine. I did.
Sorry, what about advice for baby boomers? So what's the best thing if we're retired? What should we do? Should we just sit around all day? Should we travel? Should we whatever?
No, you should not sit around. First of all, if you're a booming baby, there's a problem already. There's a chance that you might have had too much cheese. So you don't want to sit around when you're all cheesed up. You look at, now I'll just use this as I call this case de point. That means it's a case in point. And this is, if you eat too much cheese, you're going to move slow. You don't want to do that. You want to get active. You got to get your thing moving. You got to get moving. You got to be active. You got to be on the go. You could, maybe some Super Beets is good. If they have that, Chicago, Illinois, Super Beets are those little vitamins will have the vegetables on it, on the television.
Super Beet Chews. Yeah, I know. I've heard.
Or Mountain Dew's good too. Mountain Dew will move you. Look at this. It doesn't even show up on TV. Look at that.
Wow.
That's how pure this is. This is some uncut Mountain Dew. And you pour this in. Watch this already. It's better refrigerated, I'll say that. Now, once you drink it, you feel like painting the whole house. It gives you super energy. That's why if you ever see a painter, he's drinking this Mountain Dew. That's why they do. It's either that or this. This is also good. Strawberry Nestle's Quick. It's so good for you. And if you eat, let me just tell you, if you eat pork rinds, and if you eat bugles, and if you eat jack links, and if you eat a Here She Is bar, and if you eat some of that saltwater taffy, sweet Laurel's Ingebretson fish, and finish it off with this, you will keep moving.
Until you drop dead 3 hours later, so get your will in order.
One thing you don't want us to do when you're feeling like that in your tummy is to stop. It's too scary. So you keep moving. You keep moving. That's what you do. So you shouldn't do that. You should also have activities. Dale, here are the top activities for those boomers of the baby.
Good, thank you.
Crokinole. This is a game played mostly in the north. It's called crokinole. It's like a hockey game, but a little tiny puck what you flick with your finger. Really good. Also, that bokeh ball.
It's a little ball what you throw on a turf where
I believe it's
bocce ball.
And they also got the bokeh burgers that go with it, I think, and they're supposed to be really good for you. I don't know. Also, cross-country skiing.
Wow.
Very good. Not so much the skiing, but you take a wine skin with you.
Oh, okay. So it's the cold weather and the wine, but you can really leave the skis in the car, I suppose.
You go like this, and it's made out of some kind of bladder. Probably what's left over, what they can't make from pork rinds. And they pour a wine in it, and this is biblical. Even in the Bible, it says a fresh wine skin. That's because it doesn't get tainted and it keeps it from going bad. So if you take that the cross-country skin, you got yourself some activity. And those are my tips for the boomers and the babies.
You learn something new every day. I had no idea cross-country skiing was mentioned in the Bible. I had no idea.
Baseball too, you know that.
I'm going to have to look again.
Baseball too, you know that.
What do you mean baseball? Where's baseball in the Bible, buddy?
Genesis, it says in the big inning. One guy tried to tell me that there was golfing in the Bible too, and then I said, well, how come you're always looking and acting like you've been to hell when you come off the course? And he didn't have an answer. He said there was something wrong with his putter. I said, you might want to see the doctor about that.
Is that when they talk about the hole-in-one? The hole-in-one? The hole-in-one? Is that it? Is that golf in the Bible?
I don't think it's in the Bible. I think what that was a writer's embellishment from a guy at the golf course in Manhattans for lunch. You know why? Because he didn't have strawberry Nestle's Quick. Had he had this, he wouldn't have needed any of that alcoholism.
Why do I get the feeling, buddy, that you signed a product placement contract?
Oh, I didn't sign it. I just agreed to it, especially Here She Is bars from Pennsylvania. I mean, it's not really a placement. It's more like a hobby, you know. I got nothing to do with Snap-on tools either.
I do.
Now, there's some advice we need, buddy. What about boomers who are now single? What advice would you have for them as to, meeting up with someone?
Don't be ugly.
Well, what if you can't help it?
Well, everybody can help it. They just try a little bit of work. I mean, get yourself one of those palette knives and put some slickum stuff on. Here's a little known fact. You can go down, if you live in a small town, you go to Undertaker, and once every year they got to get rid of their makeup because by the health code, it goes bad after a year. You can get that for free for yourself. And I could tell you could have, like I know a friend, he had an accident with a handgun and he shot himself right through the cheek and out the other side. And after the circus closed, he couldn't do his act anymore. He used to put a piece of all thread rod through here and just open his mouth and you could see it. It was startling, but he had to pivot. So he went down to the funeral home and he said that the guy down there, Lloyd, I don't know his last name, Lloyd. Lloyd, if you've seen him, he's like this. Lloyd's like this. And that's because he always carrying somebody over his shoulder when he takes them into the shop. And he said, you got that makeup left over and you put that on with one of those putty knives and you could go in there looking like 77, although I don't recommend ever saying that age. You come out easily looking like 77, but smoother. Really smooth.
So do
you got a complexion that looks like more than skin. It's dewy and it looks soft, but when you touch it, it's like the side of a Camaro. It's beautiful. I can't say the words, but that is one thing you can do. The people, a lot of times the people that they're by themselves, all they need to do is find out who's looking for them, because there's somebody always looking to fit you, and then these two thumbs left over, they're ugly. So they're just gonna always be thumbs. But most people are fingers.
Yeah.
I never I didn't think you'd get this philosophical on us.
Yeah,
I said. Here is a singles club. Here is a steeple. Look inside to see all the people.
I knew a guy with chronic gas issues that met a woman who had no sense of smell. So
there you have it. Her hearing was fine, however.
That was what I would call a fortunate thing, because my brother suffered from the same thing. My brother, his real name's Chris, but we called him Stinky. But he had the same thing, and I tell you what, I got one here. I got this for him. This is one of these things. I don't know if you can see it there, but that's a whistle from what I call Orange Blossom Special. And every time he knew he was going to have to let one rip, and it will embarrass everybody, including the dog, he would put this up, and he would like give me a little look like a 1, 2, 3, and then the Orange Blossom Special, and it would cover the sound. So it would be like this: 1, 2, 3. And then nobody noticed. They just went, man, I didn't even know. And now the smell, he always would blame that on pork rinds because they smell like tree frogs. So like one time my dad said, hey, did somebody step on a duck when he let one go? And I said, no, that was a tree frog. I covered him. And we also had this. We also had this, what was with the Orange Blossom Special, where he could carry this and actually make it sound like a tree frog.
It does.
Yeah.
So this is a whole lot better than flatulence. It's not perfect, but really, who is?
Well, buddy, you've left me speechless. I'm just aghast at all of the good advice that you have bestowed upon us this week, and we are very very happy to have you. We hope to have you back next time, to give us even further advice of possibly how to survive the summer.
Well, do your best. Try to stay cool, and here's what I say: as far as all advice you're ever going to give anybody, this is my rule of thumb. Keep it stupid simple. Don't try to make it too compound. Keep it stupid simple.
And don't be ugly.
I always said, I always said also, I say this last time I was with you, God never did give nothing to the Tin Man what he didn't already have, or he could have already got. If he had bugles, he had a Here She Is bar, that he had some pork rinds, some of the Swedish fish that are actually made from saltwater taffy, and some jack links. And be careful, because if you got jack links, the Sasquatch knows you're there. That's true. That's for true.
Thank you so much, Buddy Fender. I hate to bring this show to a close, but mercifully we've come to that time.
Well, I'm gonna head out, and you guys go ahead and talk amongst yourselves.
We will. It'll just be the three of us. We'll be chatting. Thank you. You can leave now. Thank you.
Yeah, I gotta clean up this shit anyway. So, all right.
Bye, buddy.
Bye, buddy. Thank you.
Oh, thank God he's gone. Anyhow, folks, if you listen to this podcast and it made you laugh, I really suggest that you watch it on YouTube, because this one's going to be a beauty. And Carolyn, what's our YouTube channel?
Another Day Above Ground.
Another Day Above Ground on YouTube, and you'll be able to see this show when, you'll be able to see it as soon as it's there, and not a minute before. Other than that, closing words, Carolyn, anything for the kids?
Yeah, get vaccinated, get educated, get inebriated, and happy Father's Day.
Tim?
Hey, if you're going to be in Minneapolis June 23rd through the 26th, so will I. You can see me at Acme Comedy Company there.
Cool. That's like your favorite club up there, isn't it?
Yeah, absolutely.
Best
Best club in the world.
Wow. And I have nothing to offer other than the Friday funnies that you can get for free. And every week I'll be in your inbox with a 5-minute video giving you an update on the odder stories of the news, of the week's news. That being said, please thank you for listening to our show. Pass it on to your friends who are also baby boomers and would appreciate it. And go out and enjoy today, because it is another day above ground.